Yeah, good morning on a wet Sunday morning. Back on Mark's Railway Trails, and today I'm on the mountain bike. I've just come over the top here. We're in Parkside, Willows this morning, and we're actually looking for William Hodgson's memorial from the great day in 1830. After the Rainial trials, the first railway journey into Manchester down this line. Like I say, to get on some of these places, I'm on the mountain bike this morning, and I've left my mountain bike, you can just see right over there, chained up to some iron railings because I couldn't get the mountain bike over, and I didn't want to come on private land where them two houses are because there's loads of signs saying so. Not going to cause any trouble this morning, so we've got in, we're going to walk it, and I'll tell you more about the story as we walk on. Couldn't have picked a worse morning to do it, wet morning. But it is what it is, as you can see, looking over there, Willows just behind us, Parkside. What was Parkside Colliery? Going more that way, sadly gone. But we'll keep walking, and if my direction's right, it should be along this stretch on the right. Come down that way. It's been a good 3/4 an hour walk, to be honest with you. Pity, like I say, couldn't get the mountain bike on, which would have made it a lot easier. But this is the line. This is the line that came from famous day in Edge Hill. This is part 3 of the journey on its way to Manchester, but this is where the journey, they all came to refuel in 1830 on that day, and a very sad day really, because they had quite a few problems. They had the first death on the railway, the first shunt when an engine left the railway as well, so a lot of bad luck on that day. And on that day it was the first speed record on a train, mainly due because that was the first 2 trains to 1830 to go on a long distance into Manchester. What we're trying to find now is where William Hodgson actually got killed on that day. The cutting should be further up here. If it's not, it's been a long walk. As you can see, the rain stopped now, but half an hour ago I'm absolutely wet through. Luckily got me waterproofs on this morning. But what a walk it's been. That's the way we're going to be heading back. But let's see if we can find this memorial. You can't actually get onto this line, and you wouldn't get onto this line because it's a live line, and the express trains that fly down here, you wouldn't stand a chance. So I'd never go on a live line and do some stupid things, but I'd never risk my life for finding someone. As you can see, there's just fences everywhere all around, so it's very hard to find some of these places sometimes, because they don't want you on the lines and stuff, which you can understand. But like I said, you'd have to be pretty stupid to go on a live line. Now, we're not seeing it yet, but that's a good sign. There's a big cut in there, as you can see. That's always a big giveaway, and I think this is where it is. But what an horrendous morning for trying to find it. I couldn't have picked a worse Sunday morning, but and there it is. It's there. That's a memorial that was set up to William Hopkinson after his death, to honour the great day in 1830. You can't see a lot here looking at it. Try and get the camera in a bit to see. Try and wiggle the camera in. Well, as you can see, it's seen better days, and I'm going to hopefully get over that fence over there, and where the bridge is there, that'll be a great shot. You'll probably see more of it, and try and get down the other side and show you from the other side, but I'll keep it running. There you go, that's the line that heads to Manchester. Just there, coming from Liverpool, and that's where it came on that great day in 1830, from Edge Hill cuttings, which I've actually done, which is a great video and some great tunnels in that one. So this is the third part really that I'm doing, heading on to Manchester. But just tell you a little bit about here, what happened on that day. I'll just try and get the camera back in before I lose it. On that day in 1830, this is where they stopped to refuel with water, and there was a load of dignitaries on the two trains that day. I think the Rocket was one of them, and I think the other one was called the Plough, and the Duke of Wellington was on the Plough because it was more reliable than the Rocket. When everybody talked about the Rocket, it was actually the Plough that was the most reliable train. And they stopped here to refuel with water. And like I said, they had a lot of dignitaries that day on that train heading to Manchester. It was the very first line on this Manchester-Liverpool line that was opened up. So it was a big parade and everything on about it. But also on that day there was a lot of people against it because they were frightened of the railways. They thought they were going to blow up a lot of the engines, and it took a lot of the trade off the canals at the time. So there was a lot of people against the railways, and trying to get some of these things passed at the time took a lot of hard work. But on this day they all stopped here to refuel with water, and there was an actress, and I can't think of her name now, Molly. Off the top of my head, I think it's Molly Gibbons, was a big actress at the time, and she was on this train as well, Duke of Wellington. And they were all told not to get off the trains when they were refueling, because they're going to be refueling enough. And as you can see, there's cutting over there, and there was a cutting on this side, and Hopkinson seen the Duke of Wellington on the other side, and they had a big fallout years ago, and I think he was trying to make up actually, so he actually crossed this line here, and as he was crossing it he didn't see the Rocket coming along, and it wasn't going that fast. I think it was about 20 miles an hour, and it just clobbered him, and he just fell to the ground, and they didn't know what to do on the day. The Duke of Wellington actually put him on, I think it was a plough, and took him to Eccles in Manchester to try and get him medical help and surgeons. And he dropped him in Manchester, in Eccles, and on to Manchester to pick a doctor up and come back. But unfortunately they didn't save him. When they came back he'd passed away. So that was the first fatality on a railway in the country on the first day. And then just past here as well, I think it was further down, and I was looking at some of the books, one of the trains run into another train, derailed each other, so it was the first derailment on a railway as well. So just spot, there's a lot of history, and I'm so glad I found it. So glad I found it. I'm going to walk up here now and see if we can get through this gate. I hope I can really. If not, I'll be heading over that farmer's field and probably get another telling off somebody. But you get used to it on these walks. You know, you've got to a bit of a gamble on trying to get to where you get to sometimes. Never walk on a live line, I'm not that stupid. But regarding, you know, I'd never really trespass on people's land, but I think farmers feel sometimes, as long as you keep to the edges and stuff, you're not doing any harm. And as long as you're polite, and if they stop you, they don't want you to do it, you just apologise and just try and find another way. Or wait till the backs are turned and then just leg it round to where you want to go to. Well, keep this going, and we'll get a bit of a shot where we've come. This road, one hell of a busy road. Any chance you like. Here we go. Across. They all fly down here. I'll have a walk down here and see if we can get an angle on the other side. Should be good. And you'll see a better picture of it then as well. Well, at least it stopped raining now, because this morning was absolutely horrendous, and I mean, I got so wet through. And when you're on the bike, it's always in your face. The weather, the wind's always seems to be never behind you, always in front of you. There it is. Can't get in here. I don't want to get in here because it's a live line. And I'll just try and zoom in so you can see it. There it is. If you zoom in on that, you'll be able to read it. I'll take some pictures along with this. As you can see, it's probably seen better days, to be honest with you. And there is talk some of the railway heritage groups are trying to get this all repainted and looked after. And I think it was in the 80s, I think it did have a bit of a touch up in the 80s, but as you can see the embankment there, and that's where it stopped on that great day in 1830 to refuel. Just sadly, this gentleman lost his life. There you go, and here comes the rain again, as you can see. That's what we're up against this morning, but this is probably a better shot. You can see the rain coming down there. But there you go, that was a big embankment there on that famous day in 1830. And here comes the rain again, so that's what it was like this morning. I'm going to shelter here for a bit, and then I'll try and get a shot above the bridge. And there we go, Northern Rail going past. As you can see, live line, you never go on a live line. Well, I'm going to walk back up and get a shot above the bridge. I got a good 45 hours bike ride home then. And when you get the weather like this and the wind's in your face, it's honestly, it's a killer, you know. There you go. There's a shot of the bridge and the tunnel. Come on, look. Oh. What a morning. What a morning. The rain stops again now, so. This road is fly down here as well. I'll just put my camera up above. Here we go. And show you both ways where you can. There's a line going down, and you'll see it just there on the right. How many people have gone past this and not seen it on the way to Manchester? Because you just fly past it, there you go. You wouldn't see it. And get a shot from the other side. Oh, but what a morning. There you go. That's from Liverpool. You can see the lights there. There's definitely some trains here because it's on amber, the light. That's come from Liverpool. And what a great line. Heyday, and the first lines were on at 1830. What an achievement that was, you know, what an achievement. And it's all set up really to get goods from Manchester to Liverpool, to the docks originally, because the prices they charged on the canals was unbelievable, and Liverpool kind of owned all the rights of a lot of the canals, so that's why they built the Manchester to Liverpool ship canal and all these railways. And a lot of people don't realise that's where you get a lot of the rivalry between Manchester and Liverpool. You know, you get it in the football to this day. But it started in 1830 because they all had big fallouts about what they were charging. But when the railways came along, the time be saved due to the canals, and the Duke of Wellington, who was MP at the time, he hated the railways, despised them, and after he left office, because he was our Prime Minister, he always said one thing he hated was the railways, because on that famous day in 1830 when they did go back to Manchester, there were people there waiting for him, giving him abuse because he just didn't understand the railways at the time, you know. But hope you've enjoyed it. Mark's Railway Trails on a wet and Sunday morning. That's where it is if you want to find it. If you come along Park Road, you probably pick it up in the Willows. But I'm going to walk back here now. Hope my mountain bike's still chained up, which I'm sure it is. Like I said, I could have come and made it easier, but I didn't want to cross any farmers' fields this morning and get any abuse. But this is the third part on the journey. After here, we'll be heading over to Charlie Collins' country in Eccles, to the spot where they actually tried to save Watkinson's life, but unfortunately his injuries were too bad. So come out, walk it. Don't do it on a wet Sunday morning like I've done. A nice summer's day, this will be a great walk. And Newtonley Willows is fantastic for a lot of heritage trails. And if you've seen me post on the Nine Arches, that really is a really nice walk. But again, went out with Dad's railway books. Pity I couldn't walk it with him all them years ago, but you're always busy doing something else, and when you look back, you know, you don't get them times back. So I'm going to cut off. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to head back, get on the bike, and as you can see, here comes the bloody rain again. So it's going to be a miserable ride home, but you got to do these things. So till Eccles in Manchester, I might call in on Charlie Collins for a cup of tea, and knowing Charlie, you might have a few club biscuits as well. See you later on Mark's Trails.